Awesome. Here we go. Welcome back, friend, to another exciting episode of Are You Safe Too? And today we're going to continue our mock, my own creation, building of the Sears Tower, the Willis Tower in Chicago. Where we are at right now is up to the 50th floor. So we're a little less than halfway. Today will be a little more than halfway. So we're going to remove the tower crane because we won't need that. It'll just get in the way, and we'll set that back over here. And we're going to slide our building over this way so we can work on it there. We're going to give ourselves a little hydration in the form of H2O and set that down there. All right. So today we are going to build something. We're going to learn something. We're going to meet the support team, and I'll share a little bit about these folks here who have been a visual reminder of some of the steps and processes in organizing this project for the past 8 months. And we'll also share our safety tip of the day. So without further ado, let's start with building something. And there's our notes. We want to get our blueprints and diagrams, all that good stuff over there. All right, we finished with step 28. That takes us to here. And then, let's see, if we look at our project plan, these came from the public domain, from the architectural firm. And what I did was just in my other sketches, it gave me a plan. And just like any safety program, whether you're building it from the ground up or you're refurbishing, reinvigorating, refreshing your safety program, having a plan in place keeps you organized. Not only does it save time, but it also saves money. And in today's economy, in the workplace culture where things are changing almost daily, you have to have a plan. You have to save money because an accident is expensive. So why wouldn't it be logical to spend $500 to save $50,000? The cost of good quality safety equipment or training or resources that help educate, motivate, and inspire versus costly fines and penalties, litigation, hospital bills, therapy, and of course that ripple effect. So, step 29, and I did pre-build because 16 floors, 15 floors would take a heck of an awful lot of time. So this reminds me of where I'm beginning. Oh, we're going to set those over here. How's your week been? In your world? So what I did to help highlight these cut-ins or where this particular vertical tube ends is I incorporated a piece that represents the window washing equipment. And at the very top, if you look at the actual building, you'll see tracks that run across the outside edge of the building. And that equipment is housed in almost like a garage and then comes out on an angle towards the corner and then travels left or right to then create your window washing. Because I don't know if you would like this, but being 1,000 feet up, not my cup of tea. With these individual sections, I also incorporated some clear plates within the inside section. Gosh, that almost looks like the infinity symbol, like, for math. Or if you turn it this way, it's the symbol for the Black Widow. Yeah. So these are going to fit into place like so. Oh, we're going to have to stand up and press down on this. There we go. All right. Then we have our next set of building this like so. Putting that in place there. There's another 5 floors. And then last but not least, we got to put our windows in this section. All right. Let's see. We've got some tinted translucent tiles there. And then we have some clear tiles here. So let's go ahead and do the clear first. Figure out where we want to put. We definitely want corner offices, right? I would. If I was 66 floors up, I'd want to make sure I had a corner office. And since this is a commercial building, not residential, these tenants want to be getting the most for their dollar. Let's see. So there's that. We'll do another one here in this corner. So at least we'll get the outside corners covered there. All right. So if that was tinted, that's tinted. That's going to be clear there. And then that one there. You know what? We'll just make this whole side clear there. And because it's the top section, we'll go ahead and add a little bit. So that leaves a little bit of the inside for tinted. There we go. All right. So we have clear tiles. We'll put back in the clear bag. So up until this point, we had 1,849 pieces. Since we're on step 29, we're adding 418 pieces to the model. So that brings us to, somebody want to help me out with math here? Let's see. Oh, let's put this in place first. All right. Oh, you're gotta be kidding me. I did not just miss a piece here, did I? I did. Nice going, Todd. one smooth surface there, and extra pieces for windows. Now, this allows us to put our top piece on. 66 floors. There we go. Wow. Where are we at? That means we have math to do. So 1,849 plus 2 plus 418. We'll just make that 420. So that means 9, because the 2 extra pieces are these from the previous step. So that means 9, and then 4 plus 2 is 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 and 1 is 2, so 2,269 pieces. Oh, yeah! So we're going to start step 30 with 2,269 plus the 30 we're going to add on this step. So this is going to create another center point, kind of a cut-in element. And step 30. While we're doing this, we can learn something. It's always nice to learn something about the project you're doing. Have you ever watched a Pixar movie? When Toy Story came out back in 95, 96, 2015, 2020, 2025, so 40 years ago? No way. Wait a second. 1995. Oh, some feel like yesterday. There's a great picture of Buzz and Woody standing next to each other. And I saw the movie and I'm like, wait a second, that looks familiar. I went back to some old pictures from when I was a youth. And my aunt had taken a picture of my cousin and I standing next to each other. It must have been Christmas. And we were dressed up as, it wasn't Halloween, but it was like we were dressed up in different costumes. And there must have been like a treasure chest of different stuff. And we were goofing around as we always do. And he was a spaceman and I was a cowboy. And we looked the pose, the height difference was just precious, just brilliant. And I sent it to him. I said, hey, man, you got to go check out this movie Toy Story. It's us. I think he got a kick out of that as much as I did. He's like, oh, my gosh, we could have been the inspiration for Woody and Buzz. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. We laughed. And years later, here I am as a safety specialist, and I'm doing training for Disney down in Orlando. And I was doing some safety training, and in my presentation, I used a slide that had kind of a side-by-side comparison, and oh my gosh, the crowd just went crazy. They're like, oh, that's hilarious. I'm like, yeah, here's 1975, and here's 1995, and here we are today in 2005. What was it, 2010, 12? Yeah, those were good times. So this is going to form another band of support that goes around the building. Like we did down below here for this one right here. And inside this, in the real building, are, of course, the elements for HVAC and bundling the structure together to keep it rigid. And Chicago is called the Windy City for a reason. Not just because of the lake effect, but because of the, how do I put that? The city government? Yeah, is that safe to say? Yeah, they're tenderly winded. Now, in doing this, with these longer bricks at the ends, it does kind of duplicate the brick style I did down here, but it also adds structural integrity across these sections. And there we go. So then we just fill in the little 1x without dropping them down into the center. However, since the center is a hollow core, we can access it, which will come in handy as we work on lighting for the interior. So I have reached out to a couple of companies that specialize in mini LEDs, and they are available in lengths, strips, where I could have it attached to a USB connection, fed in through the back at the bottom, and then work its way up to the top, loop over the Skydeck, and then make its way back down. So this center channel that's clear here would be open to receiving that lighted strip. And then it could weave its way around and illuminate the tower from the inside. The Sears Tower, Willis Tower in real life, as it was the Sears Tower, held the record for world's tallest building for 25 years. From 1973 to 1998. 25 years it held the record as the world's tallest building. Now, if you, and of course you're going to Google it, but leave a comment below of what the building that superseded what took its place as the world's tallest building in 1999. I'll turn this around back this way. So step 30. All right, so we're going to add, where did I put my marker? You set something down. There it is. Let's see, step 30. is 30 pieces. So 2269 plus 30 is 9922. 2,299. Step 31. Another interesting fact about the tower is that at the Skydeck, it's the 103rd floor. On a clear day, you can see 4 states. Can you name all 4 states? Well, you don't have to. I'll tell you. I'll share with you. You, of course, have Illinois, where the Sears Tower is based, in Chicago, on the Lake Michigan. To the north, you have Wisconsin. And again, on a clear day, you can see into Wisconsin. So hello, all of you who might reside in Wisconsin, land of cheese and very, very dedicated, passionate Green Bay Packer fans. That's why. The Wisconsin Badgers in Madison. In fact, the University of Wisconsin has several campuses. And there's the Wisconsin Dells. It's kind of like Myrtle Beach or Gatlinburg in America, tourist spots for the Midwest. So in Wisconsin, they have the Wisconsin Dells, the natural rock formations and rivers. They've created a cottage industry for tourism. It was a great halfway point for trips to and from college. Going to college in Minnesota, growing up in Chicago, the Dells provided a good stop point to stretch your legs, relax, take a break, fill your 1980 Buick Regal LTD with gas, put another quart of oil in because it leaked oil like a sieve. And in the winter, you'd have hot chocolate. So that's to the north. To the southeast is Indiana. And you can see from the top of the Sears Willis Tower into Indiana. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So from this angle, we're going to put one in this corner. Yes? Yes. Here. Tell me I'm correct in this, Todd. 1, 2, 3. All right. Then to the east, across Lake Michigan, you can see into Michigan. So if we look at this step here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Outside, in, outside, in. Originally, I had thought about doing circles. These garages that the window washing equipment in are, that they fit in are actually, they're round, but the scale to the building was just a little off for actual Lego pieces. So I'm going to find a couple more of these spoke wheels to put up here. There we go. Temporarily, though, we'll say that's the garage. Okay, now that is going to go in the center there. That's going to clip there. Now, why am I adding these little 1-bys? Because that's going to help support the windows for the next level. So that's going to be finishing step 31. And so that means 26 pieces. So we'll take 22.99, 22.99, and we're going to add plus 26, so 9, and 6 is 15, 9, carry the 1, 12, carry the 1, 23, 25. Step 31. And for today, we're going to finish step 32. And that's just going to be another row of windows. That's 22 pieces. So 23, 25 plus 22 equals 5 and 2 is 7. 22 is 4. 23, 47. We're just going to make these random. Actually, So we'll do the same thing we did for the other one with the inset of the 3, 4, 5. Oh, there are my hubs. We can put those on right now. Take you off. And we'll put our hubs on. So I asked, I have a friend who helps me drive since I don't see anymore. I don't see clearly anymore. And his name's George. So George, thank you for doing what you do. He and I have lunch every now and then. And one of our conversations revolves around fun little questions. So one of those was, if you were played in a movie, if there was a movie about you, who would play you in the movie? And we have fun answering those. Why is that not fitting on there? It's supposed to. It's because, Todd, it's not going that way. It's going this way. Aha. Yes. There we go. So that leaves us with the inside there. Another clear. Nice. All right, so we run our finger over the edge. We have completed that level. Extra pieces. Put over there, clean up our workspace. And our safety tip of the day. Oh, step 32. Yes, 2347. So we'll start that next time on bag 33 and 2347. 2347 plus whatever that is. All right, that takes care of that, takes care of that. Oh, meeting the team. some of the folks that have helped me are, of course, the original architectural firm, and their information, public domain, has been very helpful. One of the inspirations that have been present is, I'm going to set them up here. So hopefully you can see them. Move that a little closer to the camera. There we go. Turn them around. Nice. My gosh, pieces just flying off all over the place, right? All right, so right here, holding the shovel. That is my representation of a real life character. His name is Micro. His ability to share information, to do the dirty jobs, the shows, the podcasts, the things where he talks about helping create awareness for not only education in the trade skills, but the job employment that is desperately needed in this country for skilled workers. And I think his work is amazing. Next to him at the top row, we're going to call her Mallory. And Mallory is someone who has the resources to provide safety supplies for companies. And in real life, that's based off of a company named Mallory Safety and Supply, who have helped me, again, with resources and information to help people, to help create safe workplaces and help clients find cost-saving solutions. Of course, then we have here, this is Mallory with the Star of Life, the EMT. In the back corner, her name is Enza. She's German. In my head, in this project, she's German. And she is constantly amazed and amused by the silly antics of American workers and how some workers don't take safety seriously. Then down in the bottom, what was her name? I have her name right here. I had it written down. Why can't I remember? That's why I write things down. Sven. Sven is a nurse, and I'm not sure what country she's from, but she loves coffee. And so you can share in your comments what you think of the silliness that I've used to help me keep motivated and inspired by these, not only the people who inspired me in real life, but the opportunities for workplace safety. Oh, and Sven is holding, S-V-E-N-D, is holding a cup that says build in Lego, right? Coffee and, what is it? I run on coffee and Lego. So a clever little custom piece that I found from a custom shop. All right, we're going to put this back where it belongs. And while we do that, and giving it a spin so you can see in the 3 different dimensions our build project so far, we'll share our safety tip of the day. My gosh, it might seem that the next video would be a vertical video, because this is getting a little crazy for horizontal shots. So what's our safety tip of the day? Well, folks, good question. And I ask you, when you're looking at your own workplace and its safety program, what values do you have in place? Of course, we started out a couple of videos ago with the safety value number 1 is creating safe workplaces. You have to. And when you're working with employees, some who may be in a position to be influential when it comes to helping with budgets and understanding the need for safety and the cost that could happen if you don't have the right safety measures in place, then there are other folks you could deal with who just don't get it. Maybe They are solely focused on the profit for the company and the bottom line, and don't care that a pair of safety glasses needs to cost $12 because it has a specialty lens. Why can't you go with the 50-cent version? Well, we could, but then the employee would not be protected or compliant, and it would cause problems. So the second value I want to share with you today is delivering basic safety brilliance. And to do that, you need to have core competency. And I've used the acronym C.O.R.E, C-O-R-E, many times. I think I first heard it in 1996. And the company I worked for gave everybody a hard hat, a white hard hat, and had the company logo on the front. And every time somebody was praised for contributing to the safety program in one of 4 categories, they were given a sticker with that category letter on it. And each letter, C-O-R-E, stood for something. It was consistent, because you have to have consistency in a safety program. In order for things to click in the right ways, to build a competent safety program, you have to have consistency. Then the second one is O, for on time. And it's not just showing up to work on time, but it's delivering results on time. What's that saying? If you're 5 minutes early for a meeting, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. Funny. But typically, as humans' behavior, we may be rushing through crowds or traffic just to get to some place on time, or going through that yellow light when we know we should probably slow down and get ready to stop. You could go through a yellow light 100 times, 99 times, no problem, but there's always that one oops. There's always that one what if. So being on time with not just who you are, but what you're producing, how you're producing it, and the results that could come from completing it consistently and on time. The third one is R, and that's for reliable. If you have employees who are reliable and focused on the safety program for using their training and watching out for each other, that's a reliable person. Is your company reliable? Certainly you have competitors that do what you do. And if they do not have a very competent safety program and people are getting hurt, and one of your clients is looking to shop around, when everything stays the same, quality, pricing, durability, warranties, if the safety program is in question, as a customer is evaluating whether to do business with you or not, well, that's certainly a reason where people could go elsewhere. So reliability is important. And the last one is efficient. Now, I used to say error-free, but after studying 5S and 6 Sigma, there's anything truly 100% error-free. When you do something 1,000 times manually, there's bound to be errors. If you're building a Lego set, you can't be 100% correct every single time because, like you see, parts and pieces are going to go pinging off. Oh, you know what? Before I started recording, I stepped on the piece that I dropped last time. So efficient. I changed it from error-free to efficient. Not that error-free is not important. It is. It is very important. But when you're dealing with hazards or chemicals or the potential for injury or fatality, you must understand that to have the compliance, the rules, the regulations, the policies, and the procedures, those things that we have to do and abide by in order to ensure every worker goes home safe, you have to understand that on the other side of that scale is the human nature part of it. So while we have our rules, regulations, policies, and procedures, if you do too much and weigh that too heavily, the scale tips and what you might lose something. On the other hand, if you just focus on employees or company profitability and don't disregard the rules and regulations, policies and procedures, then that scale tips the other way. So efficiency is how I have played out the CORE philosophy, C-O-R-E, consistent, on-time, reliable, and efficient. So if you're not currently familiar with 5S or Six Sigma, I encourage you to look into it, because you can use that as a format for creating a competent safety program, as well as build value and cost savings into your operations, whether it's tools or maintenance equipment, whether it's storage for materials, processes that can be viewed and reviewed and analyzed to the point where you are creating more efficiency. And what is efficiency? It's being able to do more with less. And that's a subject for another conversation. Folks, we've reached the end of today's episode, and I want to thank you very much. If you got something out of today, please like and subscribe. If you would like to contribute, there is a Ko-fi link I will put in the description below. We can have coffee, compliance, and conversation in that platform. So today we built something. We got to the 66th floor of our Lego 1/800 scale Sears Tower. We learned something about the actual building in that it held the world's record, and you can see 4 states. We also introduced a couple of what I use as visually inspiring minifigures. A shout out to Mike Rowe and his great work and efforts that he's doing to promote education and building awareness in the trade skills. The character of Mallory, who is a on-site EMT, taking care of, Toby. Toby is the world's worst safety manager. So you'll see him from time to time in the thumbnails, or maybe hidden as an Easter egg in some of the videos. But Toby is the world's worst safety manager. So Mallory, she helps him out. And then Ensa is from Germany. She is well versed in training and compliance, and is always confused by our silly American rules. Lastly is Sven. Sven is, she's almost like a caregiver, a nurse. She's there when you need her to be. And all important in these little minifigures as a visual representation for where I'm at, how I've started back in earlier this year. And I think it's time to put our tower crane back on top today. So this is going to go here. Next time, we're going to continue building upwards. We're at the 66th floor. We have to get to 110 floors plus 2 antennas. We're also going to outfit the Skydeck, and I have some very creative ways of doing that. And then the lights. So we're making progress here, and I thank you very much for joining me. My name is Todd, your personal workplace safety specialist. Please feel free to leave a comment, ask a question, make a suggestion, and we're all in this together, using our training, watching out for each other, and ultimately saving the world, one accident at a time. Enjoy your week, everybody, and happy building. Glad to have you here. We'll see you next time.